Hey folks, Pastor Brian here. I want to take a moment to introduce you to our new capital campaign that we have titled Faith Found Here. So 115 years ago, there were some folks who thought it was time to put a Methodist church here in Chula Vista. 30 years ago, there were folks who thought it was time to move from our campus on 3rd and J to our current location. And though that was contentious at the time, in hindsight, it's hard to argue. You know, all the mainline churches that stayed in that part of Chula Vista, if they're still open today, which some aren't, they're faced with aging facilities, diminishing congregations, and very few outward-facing ministries. That's not our story at all. You know, and there's such good momentum as a congregation. Our preschool is thriving. During COVID, many church-based preschools closed, and we fought to keep ours open, and today it's growing and doing great, serving the community. Last month, 93 people from our congregation went on the Mexico mission trip. We had to have a waiting list for college students. Can you imagine that during a time when people are saying that college students aren't really interested in church or religion or Jesus? That is not the case around here. Over the last few years, we have sent more children and youth to summer camp than any church in our annual conference. At our Crossing 11 a.m. worship service on Sunday mornings, we had to reconfigure the seating because we've had too many consecutive weeks with standing room only. What I'm trying to say here is that for 115 years here at this church, many people have found faith here. 30 years ago, some significant investment was made to assure that faith could still be found here. And we're living proof that it's happening now. So what I'm thinking about is the future. You know, I found out recently that we're the only church in the South Bay, east of the 805, that continues to be a host for the interfaith shelter. Many churches had through the years, but all the others besides us have closed their doors to this unhoused population. And we're here to say we are keeping our doors open for the most vulnerable in our community. We're the only church in the South Bay, east of the 805, that is open and affirming to the LGBTQ community. That is just staggering. What's very clear to me is that this church has an important voice in the South Bay about the future of a Christianity that is defined by love and welcome and generosity and mercy. And we want you to be a part of assuring a future where many more generations can find faith here at FUMC CV. 30 years ago, this beautiful campus was built and that congregation took on significant debt. And through the years, we've been paying that debt down, and we did add to it a little bit actually with the solar panel project, which helped us to decrease our energy costs by significant amounts and decrease our carbon footprint. All that to say, we still owe about $1.2 million from the original investment on this campus. And the debt maintenance on that is going to grow only more expensive over the next 5 years. Now is the time for a capital campaign to eliminate that $1.2 million debt. And if we do this, this congregation will experience a financial freedom that will enable it to live fully into the growth and witness that I have been sharing about. So 115 years ago, those people prepared this church for us. 30 years ago, those folks were preparing this church for us. And now it's our turn to prepare this church for the next generation, for the next 20 or 30 years. Now, it'll be no small task. It will take sacrifice from us all. You'll hear much more about this in the coming weeks and months. But we believe it's possible. And we believe it's possible because we know that every one of us has a story about how we found faith here. This place matters to us, and we want this place to matter far into the future. So thanks for taking a moment to watch this and to listen so well. Please join me in praying for God's abundant blessings in this capital campaign. Faith found here.